So let's talk about what our November goals are. Yeah. What's going on, guys? My name is Jason, and I am documenting my journey for better health, happiness, and financial future. And we have a new month starting here, so it's time to talk about our November goals. I just talked about the October results and how those were fabulously horrible. So now we get to talk about how November we have a new chance. So I'm using a different setup this time. Instead of putting everything into some kind of like Photoshop or anything like that to try to make it look all super fancy, I'm actually just going to show you my tracking system. I use a thing called Notion. I just recently started using it, and I love it so far. So I'm not going to try to screen out any of the extra stuff on here. Let's just show you the whole thing. I set up my November goals for personal, physical, and mental health, financial health, content creation, and then home. With that, there's a lot of things that are kind of implied in this, so let's talk about it. First of all, my personal goals. That's going to be more of just the things that I want to do on a personal level. It has nothing to do with my physical fitness or anything like that. It is just on a personal level. Part of that is reconnecting with people. I get to see my family again up in Oklahoma here in a few weeks, and I'm extremely excited about that. Just found out recently some other news that I have mixed feelings about, but it is actually a happy occasion if you really want to get right down to it. Yeah, reconnecting with people, seeing my family for Thanksgiving, that is really kind of my biggest two things for my personal side of things. Let's talk physical and mental health side of things. CrossFit classes 2 times per week. I did my first full CrossFit class as of Friday afternoon. It was painful from a point of I just didn't feel comfortable. I wasn't able to execute everything like everybody else did, but that's okay. Because we all start someplace, you know. I don't care who you are. You could be, Usain Bolt, and I don't know if he's still the fastest man, like the running dude thing. I guarantee you that he was crawling before he ever started running real fast. And so I'm crawling right now, and I'm learning it. And so far, loving it. So 2 times per week. I'll show you actually here. There's a tracking here that I have, so I can track each one of the times that I go to my classes, and I have a little check mark there when I go to first class, second class per week. My little notes here are kind of the days that I think I'm going to end up going. There's some trickiness that's going to be involved in some of this because with it being an election week, who knows the craziness that could ensue with this week. We just don't know. But the only other week that I see that could be tricky from going standpoint for classes is Thanksgiving week, because I don't know what their schedule is. So we keep these things in mind. But I also know that rest and recovery is a huge part of all of this, so I have to keep that in mind. Also, the goal is, again, at or below 399 pounds. I'll be honest with what I did yesterday on CrossFit. If I keep it up and I get a better handle on my food and the frequency at which I eat and the choices that I make, I actually think that is very, very doable. That then goes into the weekly meal planning and prep. And I actually have another setup that I can show on this, and maybe another time but I actually have another page within my Notion system that helps me with that. And then the water, my nemesis, the water. I'm going to have to figure out how I can just kind of force it. I don't know how, but I will figure that part out. Let's go financial health now. So from a financial health, I'd already paid off some of my tax stuff, which was nice. I'm going to do the county property tax stuff. By the way, owning a home, it's wonderful. And yet at the same time, it's a pain in the backside. So we're going to do the property tax stuff. They still have not released the school property taxes yet. So I have no idea how much that one is. We will find out. And then by the end of the month, I'm going to restart all my auto deposits into my investment account. I had it set up to where every week on a Monday, it would just automatically deposit a certain amount into my investment account. So it would just grow. And that ended up, going from literally $0 at the beginning of the year to over $1,000 at this point. And that's just putting a small amount in every week. Who knows? And I stopped putting stuff in there like a month and a half ago. So in fact, I barely look at it. I set it and forget it, right? Trademarked by somebody. Don't sue me. And then let's look at content creation. I want to continue improving my editing skills. I'm getting a little bit better at it. In fact, you may notice that there's kind of a new theme kind of coming up here with each one of my videos. And I'm working on this as I go throughout the rest of this year. I got another tool that's coming today, actually, that will facilitate with that. And we'll talk about that in a second. I want to publish at least 2 videos a week. The start of this month, I was doing a whole thing I posted every day for 7 days, and I'll be honest, I hated it. I mean, it was fun, but at the same time, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of pressure. So for those of you that are daily vloggers, man, good up on you, because that is not in my wheelhouse right there. Do not post until I have done correct tag and keyword search. That mainly has to do with me growing my channel. It's finding out, what kind of titles work best for searches, what kind of tags within the post, the meta tagging or meta, I guess it's meta tagging, where people can find it easier, things that they're specifically looking for. So I need to do more research with that. I need to be a little more cautious. I need to think about it more. Folks, it is 2:57 in the morning, so my brain is not 100% working right now. And yes, this is me. I just woke up. Maybe I should add on here, sleep more. Wait, here. I'll add it later. I'm not going to move my keyboard. Then last thing on the content creation is weekly live stream. I think that would be a lot of fun. I was a part of a live stream the other day. Actually, there's a couple of different ones that I was on. Watching the interaction with everybody, and I was like, man, this looks like a lot of fun. And so I started thinking, man, okay, I could do that. That'd be kind of a blast to do. And I've got an extra camera. I don't have an HDMI capture card or anything, but I'll learn how to do all this stuff. I've got a new tool. I've got I can't think of who makes the device, but it's called a Stream Deck, and it's basically, it sets up macros so you can do like lower thirds and bring up sound effects and things like that. So I'm actually going to be working on learning how to do live streaming, and we'll pick a night. and we'll do live stream, and you can hang out with me and see how awkward I am normally, more than now. And then last but not least on here is my home. There's a theme that is coming up for the beginning of this year, and I'll talk more about that when I start talking about my 2021 goals. But I'm going to pick 2 rooms out of this house, and actually I've already picked it. It's going to be what is currently my office, and then what I call right now my other room. Other room, I have barely stepped foot in 9 years, 7 to 9 years. I stepped foot in it a little bit for a while, and weird stuff. I may tell that story at another time. However, the reason why I am picking those 2 rooms is because I am moving everything into the other room, and it will now be my new office / studio. And the room that I'm in now, which is my office, will now be the new other room, which will basically be kind of deep storage for things like deep storage stuff. I don't know what yet. I haven't figured that part out yet, but yeah, it's the other room is much bigger, and I add an extra 30 square feet in there, which doesn't sound like much, but it can add up quickly. So yeah, so I'm hoping to have that done by the end of this month. There's a lot of other things involved. There's some financial sides of things because I got to move wiring, and it's a whole other animal. So let's see what that does. And then last but not least on the home is make a decision on a Christmas tree purchase. And the only reason why I put that in there was because I am not a huge fan of Christmas. I used to be. And a lot of things happened over the last 20 odd years that really soured Christmas for me. The tilting point the most for me was whenever my mom passed away, 20 days before Christmas. At that point, I didn't want to hear Christmas music. I didn't want to see Christmas movies. I didn't want anything to do with it. I was around people at Christmas, but I was literally faking my way through being happy. Sorry for those of you that were a part of that. I was miserable. I was miserable, and I ended up ultimately I gave away my last Christmas tree. I gave a lot of that stuff away. But I've started thinking about last year I wanted to get a Christmas tree. And the one that I want is like this really cool one. It's like all LEDs, and it's like programmable, so it can do like, swirly and star things. And but I'm still trying to decide. Haven't made that decision. I could use the money on much more important things. So maybe next year. I don't know. We'll decide. I'm not making the decision today. Today is the 31st of October. I still have plenty of time before it becomes overpriced and ridiculously unnecessary for me to purchase. So there you go. Oh, and here is my to-dos. Here's my to-dos, the big ones. And I've got little check marks when I do it. And yeah, see? I love this little thing. If you guys haven't used Notion yet, you should check it out. It's actually really, really kind of awesome. It took me a while to figure it all out, but I did figure it out. That's for November. It felt weird making a video today. I'm a little sore. I'm a little tired. So this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That's the exact reason why. If it was the most greatest video of all time, awesome. I'm really pretty sure that that's not going to be the case, though. So, okay, there you go. If you guys want to follow more and see what silliness I do next, follow me and do the like and subscribe thing and all of that. And November's going to be awesome. Let's make it awesome, one way or the other. We're almost done with this year, guys. Almost done. Whew. I love all your faces. Live life loudly. Be good to yourself and be good to others.